In another beautiful day in God's kingdom. Sometimes the expectations that we have of from people that we love can be so high that they just cannot match up to it, or maybe once in a while they disappoint us. Let's take a look at what we have before us today as we look at 1 Samuel chapter 30, and let's read from verse 9. It says, so David and his men, his 600 men, set out. They were going after the raiders that had raided Ziklag, and they came to the brook Besor, but 200 of the men were too exhausted to cross the brook. So David continued the pursuit with 400 men. Along the way, they found an Egyptian man in a field and brought him to David. They gave him some bread to eat, they gave him water, they gave him fruits to eat. And then his strength returned because he hadn't had anything to eat or drink for the past 3 days. And they asked him, who are you? Where do you come from? He said, I'm an Egyptian. I'm a slave of an Amalekite. My master abandoned me after we'd gone on these raids to these different places. And one of the places that we went to was Ziklag, and we burned everything to the ground in that place. So this was exactly what David and his men were looking for, that magic word Ziklag. So they knew that this Egyptian must know where where the raiders were going. And so he became a help to them. But I want us to take a look at something very important here. You see, I can't help but draw a parallel and see these two incidents, these two scenarios. See, David had 600 men. 200 of his men were too weak and exhausted to cross the brook, and he had to leave them behind, to stay back, and said out of compassion, he left them behind. Now, this Amalekite, this Egyptian slave had been left behind because he was too weak, but the difference was miles apart, as they say, from chalk to cheese, because he was left behind without food, without water, basically was left to die. Of course, the 200 men that David left on the other side of the brook had been left with sustenance, so they weren't going to die, and of course they were well taken care of. But this one had been left to die, and I see that, you see, for us in our families with our loved ones, sometimes our loved ones will not meet up to our expectations, but we don't abandon them. We keep on praying for them. We keep on crying out to God for them, or we keep on praying, even without them. Maybe you are that wife in that home where your husband refuses to join you to pray. Keep on praying. Don't abandon everything and say, well, he's not doing what he's supposed to do anyway, so well, let's all just give up and die. No, you keep on praying. Or maybe you're that husband whose wife is never supportive of you or of your endeavors. That doesn't mean you should walk into adultery because she's not supportive. Keep on praying, and God will give you the strength, to continue to do what you're supposed to do. Keep on in the place of prayer. Don't give up because somebody else has given up. That's the story here. Don't give up because one person that is so close to you has disappointed you. Don't give up. Don't give in. Hang on to your faith. Hold on to God, and I can assure you, God will make a way of escape for you. God will give you strength to carry on in the name of Jesus. And when I say way of escape, what do I mean? I mean that God will show you mercy, and he will send help to you even in that place of need. So, and before long, that person that is so exhausted or is tired or whatever, that person is going to come alongside you again, whether it's your wife, your husband, or your children, or just your brother or your sister. They'll come alongside you again as you continue to pray and hold on in faith. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.